Yeah, they're good. All right. So today we are with Eunice. She's a former classmate of mine from pharmacy school. After school, we all scattered, went our different ways, and Eunice ended up in the States. So she's gonna introduce herself now and tell us a little bit about her. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, from what Anne-Marie said, it's true. We were together in college. It's a long way go, 20 years about. But so I did pharmacy before as in the same class. Then I worked in Kenya for some time. I did work with Moi Teaching and Referral. I moved to Ampath, which we had a partnership with some North American universities. But at some time in 2016, I moved to the US to join my better half. So I entered into the US and I started a life. So
So
me being Eunice.
So first question.
Yes.
First question.
Yes.
It's 2006. You want to get a visa to go to the States. How easy or how hard was it?
It wasn't easy because I went there so in 2008, if I'm not wrong, 2007, I went to try to get a visa to go for just a visit. We didn't get through. Then I tried a year after for a graduation. I didn't get through. So the final one that I
What
had to
reasons were you given?
The reasons were very
What
valid
reasons were you
reasons. You
given?
don't have any
Right.
attachment to your home country. Simple. So in my last interview, which was like my third one, I asked the reason why I was being denied, and I was being told that I don't have any attachment to my home country. Yet that time I left my kid behind with my in-laws. And this wasn't easy either. So they gave me an answer that even leaving your kid behind means that you're going to be having other kids because your husband is there. I mean, that was the breaking point for me because, yeah. So, and I was like, oh, you mean we just go there to reproduce? We even don't care the people we leave behind. To me, it was a frustration. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a frustration which I didn't
So
want to go through anymore.
How did you get around it? Or how did you finally succeed?
So I just made a decision. I mean, we talked, and it was like, I'm not going to go again to the US Embassy to ask for the same visa because it was going to be a visit visa. Non-immigrant visas are not like guaranteed. And anyway, nobody cares. So the only opportunity that you can have is when you are guaranteed of a visa, which can either be payroll or, like a green card. That's when it's a guarantee. But the rest are never guaranteed. So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to live in Kenya. I don't care. I changed my perspective. Then, I remember the Mother Karuas say that US is not heaven. So that was my application then. It worked well for me. We started having our own, wanted to build a house. I want to just move on with my life. So the decision was, the next time that I want to go to the US is when my husband has a guarantee way of me getting a visa. I'm not going to beg again. That was final for me.
Yeah. And also, you're paying money all the time.
Of course, every time I had to pay because I went with my firstborn, I went with my secondborn. So it's like you pay double of them. So, but lucky enough, I mean, we had the money, but it's not that everybody has the same money.
No.
So in 2016, so then the process was like, okay, forget about it. And that was it. My husband was to finish his college. So he registered for his master's after that. So he did his master's, which was like self-sponsored. He didn't have like a scholarship like he was with the undergraduate. So from there, life was difficult for him
Okay.
because he had to raise finances to go for his classwork. And at the same time, we have kids who are going to school.
Yeah.
So the thing was, in like 2 years' time after he graduates, he's postgraduate, we either have him get a job there, or if he doesn't get a good job that can guarantee us going to the US, then he comes back to Kenya. Within a span of 2 years after his
Yeah.
graduation, that's what we agreed. And we waited. The only thing that kept us in peace was knowing that God has control over this. We don't have to care about anything that happens. Either way, it would be okay for me. And either way, it would be fine with him if that's what it is. Because, destinations can never be dictated. They just come when the time comes. That's what we believed. So in 2015, that was like 2015. Then
It took till 2015.
Yes, it did. That was like a separation for almost 11 years. So him coming once in a year,
Okay.
which is like coming for 2 weeks because he has class, or coming for 3 weeks because it's a long break. So
Wow.
in 2015, that's when we got the invite to go for the process of green card. It wasn't easy too, because that means a lot of money. He had to apply for me, for my 3 children. For our 3 children, that means like it was expensive because they had to apply. I remember the amount was really good money. So application was done, and then we had to go for medical. The process starts, it's slow. You need to be patient too. This is another thing. I'm traveling with the kids to Nairobi. I'm back to Eldoret. So it took a whole village anyway. Some friends would help us with maybe transport, because now, see, you have 3 kids. Some of them are under 2. You'll be going to and fro.
Wow.
All these processes were just tedious, So, the good thing is having a family is really very important. Like a supportive family helped. So the first time we went to Nairobi,
Community.
we did it, but we were not complete. We had to go back again. Fortunately, things went
So you come to
slowly,
Nairobi,
but
you do medicals.
yeah, we went back.
You do medicals, you go back. Then when the results come out, you come back again.
They scheduled
Then
you
what?
for an interview now.
What else?
So you get
Okay.
an interview. So you go now to the embassy. The other one, you are going for medical. That's different. Then you go to the embassy. The embassy will decide.
And you can go anywhere, or the embassy decides where you go for your medical?
Oh, they decide. They take control of your life after you want to go to their country. I mean, it's just a procedure. They give you a assigned place, which is like
Okay.
within Nairobi, really, like within the same place. So from there, we had an interview. Then we went through the interview. Then we had to wait for our visas, So we were fortunate. Everything really went smooth. We got the visas. Yeah, if I remember, it was a parole, kinda. It's kinda reuniting the family. And then we had to get ready, because now this means tickets you have to buy for travel. You have to get, I had to resign from my job. By then I was supposed to be getting promotion. I was supposed to be moving to a next job group. So here you have a decision to start a life again, or move with what you have, which was very good anyway. It wasn't a bad job. It was well-paying job to consider, given the fact that I was in Kenya. It was a well-paying job at the moment.
Yeah.
But I had to leave behind. So I gave a notice, which was supposed to be 1 month. Then I have to clear every loan that I had in Kenya, because I didn't want to go away with them. And having to leave my, having to leave my house. Now, you have to plan everything. So it's not going to be like a day and you're gone. So A notice to my employer was supposed to be 1 month notice. Then from there, organize my life to now start saying, I'm leaving. The kids have to leave schools and they have to go start another new life of a different school. They don't speak Swahili. They have to speak English. My kids only could speak Swahili. So
Wow.
we have to
How old
prepare
were
our
they at the
children.
time?
My
How
oldest
old were they
was,
at the time?
there were 7. We had 5, 4. They were all
7,
under
5, and
7.
4.
Yes.
Okay. So if they're going there, they are just going to like nursery school.
Not really, because no, like, sorry, the oldest was 12, and then we had 7 and 4 going to 5, let's say.
Okay. So did you like have to enroll them in school there while they're still here, or you're like, we'll wait till we get there, then we enroll them?
Yeah, it's a procedure. So when you come here, you have to enroll them here. You can't start the process because you first of all have to know the location where you're going. You have to, it's a whole registration. They need every document and it has to be original. Yeah. They need every documentation, short
Wow.
records.
Okay.
They needed
So
birth certificates. Yeah.
So you sold all your property, maybe resigned your job, take your kids out of school, pay your loans, give away your furniture, so that like you're basically just flattening your life in Kenya
Not really. We didn't
before
sell
you
our
go.
properties. We have our properties today. So what we only changed was the management. That's it, the management system, because the only things that we did was settle our liabilities, which was supposed to be our finance issues, like, loans and all that. But everything else remained. We still own our properties that we had. We have our house. It's now under rental, which is like we have tenants. So you see, and then other things like, furniture is not really a big deal. You can bless somebody with a
Yeah,
furniture. It's not a big deal. And
yeah,
we had, like, the property is still there, and we don't plan to dispose anyway, because when we go back home, we still have a place. I mean, yeah. So we still have, it's a whole thing. You can want to invest in both countries if you want to. Nobody really denies you. So being Kenyan, it's a Kenyan. You always love your country, man. It doesn't matter where you are. You still have something at home. Home is home.
yeah, true.
Home is best.
Yeah,
Even when you see
that's
people cry about home,
mm,
yeah, you're like, oh yeah. But outside here is not as good as home. You still have everybody there. So all your roots, yeah.
okay. So tell us about arriving in the States. How did you manage the culture shock? How did you fit in to your new like community? And also
It
now
wasn't
you're so used to being like the head of the household in Kenya, and now you are reunited with your husband. You're in the same house again. How was that process?
I mean, it wasn't easy. At some time, you would feel like,
Mhm.
one man, I don't know this guy no more, because at first, it was like, oh, you were so close, and then now you are like meeting once in a year. But what kept us moving is the communication. So when I went in there, I knew the voice. The voice is so familiar that, of course, with the help of Skype, which we used to have, and then the WhatsApp coming, and here we are communicating every day. The good thing is that technology improved our relationship. So when I went in there, I knew the type of a person I knew physically, and maybe voice wise. But there are
Mm,
some things you don't know about the person after
yeah,
staying for long time not being together. You don't know how people make decisions in their own
For
house.
such a
I felt
long
like I was a
time.
stranger in the house. Yeah, I felt like a stranger because, but the good thing is, at least the day we went in there, he was there at the airport on time. He was even ahead of us, waiting there. I think even he spent like 5 hours
Yeah.
sleeping on the, like, being in the parking lot waiting for us.
He was
That was a that
excited. He was excited to
Yeah,
welcome you.
exactly. And then all through when he was setting up the house, I was involved. So I would select the type of furniture that I want, like saying the positioning, like playing a part, even with distance. So when he bought a car for me, he wanted me to select the model that I wanted and that we would have afford, you know. So
Yeah.
that's how I participated. So I felt like I was part
Yeah.
of the house even when I wasn't there. I took some of like, we
Yeah.
need beddings. Of course, we need, the bed, then we would be like, okay, let's go. We use
Yeah.
WhatsApp. I check it on and that's it. So when I went in there, I knew what I expected in that house. So the first thing, when you go in, first of
Yeah.
all, you're tired. You just want to rest. So then he did like,
Mm.
everything. Yeah, everything was like, him doing, he invited us into the house, like feed us, settle us in. Like, hey, this,
Yeah.
it's very important, small things, but really they do account. Like, hey, this is your towel, this is
Yeah.
so and so, this is, like assigning everybody, like feeling home, like welcome, you are welcome, do whatever you want to do here, pick whatever you want, that kind of ushering us in is what we wanted. So then after that,
That
being, of course,
openness, the openness.
yes.
Yeah.
So we
And
kind of had
happiness
to now
also
bring back,
for having
yeah, it's
you.
like now we are bringing back the relationship. It's like we are now, it's like first relationship,
Starting
first
anew.
day of seeing him.
Yeah.
We had to start moving, like we are courting now, like we are coming together. Then with assistance in everything, because we didn't like, we were really, I was green in the place because one, I don't know what to do. I'm so used to knowing, I know when I move from job, I need to go through one place, get to do 1, 2, 3, pick up the, making shopping for my, the
So,
house that, you
yeah.
know,
So what was your plan? Did you have a plan or job-wise, or were you just like, let's just reach there, then we sort ourselves out?
no, I did. I was going to be a nurse as soon as I went to America. That was the thing that was in my mind. And I wanted to, we wanted to have one more kid. That was the plan that I
Okay.
had. So, yes. So, having in mind that I needed
Okay.
to do
So
nursing,
wait,
but
wait, 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 wait. Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. So, like, did you were planning to go to school there, or had you gotten some nursing um like papers when you are here?
no, I didn't have, I was in pharmacy. The whole time I was doing research in pharmacy. So we had a project in Kenya that it was a collaboration between North American universities. So I had a clip of what American system looked like. But the experience was different because I was a boss where I was. But when I came to the US, man, there was no boss. I mean, I had to start a life that was like different. I'm not a supervisor. Being in a role of leadership where you were and then you have to change and start something else was not easy to comprehend. Adjusting was kind of difficult, but I had this. So my first thing was I need to continue with pharmacy. So when I came here, I had in mind to do the exam. So I went in to the sites. Nobody would tell you about that. You have to do it. Search what you want. Because I knew what I wanted. I wanted to continue with pharmacy. So the only thing that I needed to know is where to go. Which, like, go to the website. It has to be a board. So it has to be a pharmacy board somewhere. So I went look for the pharmacy board for specific, like in Texas, we have where we are, every state have their own. So I went in there and looked for what I needed to do. So I needed to do
Yeah,
an exam that certifies me to practice in the
yeah,
US. So in my first year, that was when I went in 2016. I started looking for the exams and enroll in the exam and schedule for my exam. So since I didn't have finances, my husband was taking care of all the expenses that I needed. So the thing was, tell me when you need, whatever you need, like if finances is needed, just let me know. So it was easy to just approach this way. I need finances for registrations. They need this kind of amount. We do that. I have an exam coming. I have to revise if I have to do it. I did it. So in my 2017, I was already certified to practice as a pharmacy tech. I looked for a job, and the first time, it was kind of weird because when I did my exam, there was this examiner who was there and he gave me possible applications. Somebody was there to lead me. This is how you can apply. Have this. My husband's job also supported, we had kind of support. So I went in there, applied for the job, and the first job that I applied, I got the job. So at least I started working. Of course, the pay wasn't as much as it could
Wow,
be,
that is
but it was.
is that like usual, or is it like, were you lucky? Is that like the norm? Like you just, like in a profession like pharmacy, if you just like do the certification, if you apply, you get a job just like that? Or was that
I
like,
don't know.
were you
I don't
like
know. Maybe I was
different
lucky
from the
because
norm?
the first application I did and I got an interview scheduled and it was near home. It was only 13 minutes to the job. But now
Wow.
I got the job. I was taken in. That was like in 2017, by April, I must say, I had a job. So I had settled my kids. They were already going to school. They were like, we knew the schedule, and my time was now the problem because I would be at work at the same time I want to pick my kids. So we had to work a time that was workable. And so that's how I started. So I started working after the kids came home, and then my husband being there, I would be working within those time. Or when the kids go to school, I go that time. When they are back from school, I'm already there to pick them up. It was nice. It started me well, but now I had challenges at work because first their accents was different. I wasn't used to the accent, so sometimes it took me forever to understand what they was really saying. And here I'm supposed to receive phone calls.
Yeah.
Now it's different here. You have to build the insurance. You have to do the packaging. You have to do the organization of the pharmacy. Under the pharmacist, you cannot do, the way you do counseling in Kenya? We don't. The pharmacist is the only one who can cancel clients. Then,
Okay.
so in this, we had the front store and the back store, which is the pharmacy. The pharmacy is a drive-through, which means you will be doing the drive-through at the same time serving the people in the counter side. I wasn't used to that. That's a different level.
So as a pharmacy technician, your job was to be like the one who's packaging drugs and reading prescriptions and maybe
Yes, you
doing
package
stock takes.
by the prescription, then being confirmed by the pharmacist.
Yeah, okay.
You have to, so it's like dispensing, packaging, but consultation has to be done with the pharmacist. But there's another catch. You have to do the billing with the insurances. And if the insurance is not very clear, you have to call the insurance to coordinate the card that you've been given by the client with the insurance, which it wasn't easy. It was just a challenge to me because I had never experienced that. We used to, in Kenya, it's different. You just, get, oh, you want a prescription? Okay, here's your meds. Give the counseling man, just go.
And then
But
they
here,
deal with it at reception.
yes.
Yeah.
And then you go tell, oh, you go get your money being billed on the
It's
other
up
side.
to
You don't do the billing.
You deal with it.
Yes. And the challenge is that I didn't understand the currency because you have here to dollars.
So like,
you have
how did you like when Say again, the I didn't hear what you
Yeah.
said.
So yes. So my issue was with the currencies. You have like, like when you have a dollar, a dime,
You're
all
saying
those
something
ones were
about
not
currencies.
like
Mm-hmm.
different denomination. Like you have the saints, you have all that kind of a thing was new to me. So, and I remember being mocked by one of my colleague who was working with me because I couldn't differentiate between the two. I mean, between everything that was going on, and it was like she was looking like I really looked like I'm so stupid in a way that it took me a while to just believe in myself that I know I'm better than this, you know. And I actually got some people who helped me get through it. We had a store manager who was very good. She was always there. Like if I am struggling, she would be there to tell me, "Hey, you're gonna be better tomorrow." You know, somebody who was just uplifting my. Sometimes you just go low. You feel like quitting in the morning when you report. So, but with time, like in 2 weeks, I was good to go. And I worked there for some time. Like I was in the pharmacy for 1 year. And I discovered I could do a CNA job because it was flexible. So I got people now to know, hey, there is also a CNA job. And then I got to be introduced to this facility that was doing training, and they would pay for you. And at the same time, you work for them. And, it was something that I wanted because I didn't have to spend no money. So when I got the training, I had to quit the pharmacy job because it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't convenient for me raising up the family at the same time working. That's when I moved to the pharmacy. I mean, from the
Yeah.
pharmacy to do CNA. CNA was really good job. I liked it. I had a whole team. Like when you get people who you work together and they are really very supportive, and they you feel like you are in a team. You feel like talking to these clients was good too, because when you talk to the residents, it's a long-term care facility. You meet with every person that had different lives, and you share as you do service for them. To me, this was very very touching, and I wanted to be part of this. And the only way I could get up is being a nurse, because there were some things that I couldn't change, because at my position you can't do. You are just responsible. You are under the nurses, so the nurse will tell you what to do,
Yeah.
and of course you'll be following whatever they've given you. So that's what we used to do. So I used to work night
Yeah.
shift, which is like evening shift. It's like from 2 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be back home. And that was easy for us to work with. Like my husband is home, I go work, and then, that was it. So we used to have this kind of when home, work. So, and we at one point we had support from the family members. I had my sister-in-law here in the US. So she was there home. When I'm not there, she's with the kids until they grew of age. They would be able to manage at
So
least
how was it
between the
like
breaks.
being this Black African and you're working with these like old people especially? Did you ever experience like feeling of they don't want me here, or was there any alienation because of that? Or was it even like easier to deal with them? How would you say your experience was
Um,
as an a transplant?
it was different. It's actually individualized kind of type, because you have those ones really that really appreciate it. They don't even care. I didn't see from their faces or from their talk that they were against it. But there are those ones that were outrightly discrimination, like they are just
Like, what do you mean? Like specifically a Kenyan or just being black or is it being an African? Okay. So she was just like, no. Mm. Wow. Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. Who's going to care for her? Yeah. Yeah. She didn't want you. Yeah. Yeah. So it's more like it was a calling, not just a job. It was more like I'm making a difference in these people's lives. And most of them were appreciative of that, except for like the lady. Okay. So this was Texas. Mm, mm. She's and yeah. So she's never met a Luya, for example. Yeah. Luya ni wachawi or some shit like that. Yeah. Mm, yeah. So you just approach it like every person is an individual, and I'm just gonna give them a chance to show me who they are. And how has that like worked out for you in general in Texas? Like, has it been like you found like this the what do you call it? Like the story you hear that, Texas is very right wing, very racist. Would you say that's more like it's a myth, or what would you call it in your experience? In your experience. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm, so when you encounter like when you encounter like that, encounter that pushback, like I don't want to work with you, or I don't want you to work for me, you just take it like it's all right, so that's how you feel. May I know how you just like ask questions, and how is that taken? Like, could you give an specific example of like when that happened in your work life, or you were just in the supermarket and someone was like, I don't want to, you know, associate with you, and then how you resolved it? You haven't had that like personal experience. Wow. Okay. Okay. So yeah, have you ever quit a job because of that hostile environment? Have you ever had to quit a job because of that hostile environment? Mm, mm, okay, yeah, so it's better to root yourself in your family and keep that as your anchor and just let the jobs come and go. If it's not working out, it's not working out. And somehow you'll be okay. Okay, okay, so I want to ask a question which is not really like relevant to your situation. But let's say someone is not married. They're in the States, they're not married. So they don't have that backbone of family. Have you ever seen a situation where someone is forced to like remain in a hostile environment, or just like what happens if you don't have that support, that family behind you? You're in a foreign land and you're alone. What have you ever seen like a case like that? What happens? Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Mm, 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 for their kids. Mm. So speaking of family, being in the States and you've left your family at home, how has your relationships changed because of that, or how do they stay the same? How do you make sure they stay the same, whichever applies? Mm, yeah. Mm. Is that difficult for you to do? So far, you've been managing. I was asking, is that difficult for you to do? Mm, yeah. Also, I wanted to ask, a lot of times you find that because you're in the States, people feel like you have a lot of money. So do you get like a lot of people asking you all the time for like send me money, I need money, and how does that change your relationships? Mm, 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 yeah. Okay. Mm, okay. Mm, yeah. Mm. I think the saying is, yeah, I think the saying is if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. Yeah. Mm. Mm. There's somebody to carry you. Yeah. So I think you get those requests, but you feel like they're valid and you don't get just I feel like then you're probably in also the minority in that way, in that you don't get people just arbitrarily asking you to send them money. Like, just send me money because you're rich and you're in the States and I don't have money. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Do you get people like that who just call you when they need money among your relatives or your friends? How do you handle it? Do you just tell them straight up? Mm, 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 mm. I feel like people who think it's not good if you speak your mind probably just don't want to hear what you have to say. So they don't want you to speak because they don't want to hear what you have to say. It's not that it's not good, it's like it's inconvenient for them to hear what you want to say. So like I prefer if you don't say anything because I don't want to deal with what it is that you're saying or what you're saying is not convenient for me. Right? So if someone is asking for money and you're saying, what is it for? And you only call me when you want money, that's inconvenient for them. So they don't want you to say that. So they tell you it's not good to speak your mind. Anyway, mm, mm. Mm, mm. For more money to, yeah, very true. Okay, so we are coming up on 4 minutes to end. So I want to give you time to just like, what advice, what life advice or migration advice would you give to somebody who is having a hard time? Because most Kenyans are now having a very hard time, and they're like, there's no opportunity for me here. What if I tried it in the US? Like, what would you advise? And it's not like that, oh, it's going to be 6 months, then they're definitely not struggling. The struggle could take years. Mm, mm, yeah, community. Community is the key to maintain that community. Okay. Um, I'm sure they're just like, mm, what? Die. Mm, yeah, very true. Wherever you are in the world. Mm, wherever you are in the world. Yeah. And try to live within your means. Yeah. Okay. That's some good advice, even for anyone, not just anyone wanting to migrate. Just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and do what you have to do without comparing yourself to other people and what other people are doing. You just have to know what your goals are and what you need to do to achieve them and maintain a sense of community. Yeah. All right. So, I think 1 hour has gone by, and I want to thank you for taking your time from your day off to talk to me. Thank you so much. Okay, so this session is officially done.